Maybe you have felt it lately. A pull toward God. A quiet sense that there is something real there, something you actually want, and underneath it, one frustrating problem. Nobody ever told you how. No one ever sat you down and showed you the steps, so you assume it must be complicated, or that you have to clean your life up first, or learn the right words, or become a certain kind of person before you would even be allowed to start. None of that is true. You do not need a seminary degree. You do not need a spotless record. You do not need to understand everything or feel a particular way. Beginning a relationship with God is far simpler than almost anyone makes it sound, and you can begin it today, right where you are sitting, exactly as you are. So that is what this is, not a sermon about it, but the actual how. I'm going to walk you, step by step, through how a person begins with God, what it is, what to pray, and what to do next. If your heart has been reaching for something, this is the map. Let's begin. Before the steps, you have to know what you are actually stepping into, because most people get this part wrong from the start. Beginning with God is not signing up for a religion. It is not a list of rules you now have to keep or a club you have to qualify for. It is a relationship, and it is a relationship with a God who loved you first and who already made the first move. Here is the whole story in plain words. God made you on purpose for himself, to be known by him and to walk with him. But every one of us has gone our own way instead. The Bible calls that sin, and it broke the connection we were made for. And here is the part that changes everything. You cannot fix that break by trying harder or being good enough. No one can. That is the honest reason every self-improvement plan eventually leaves you tired. The trouble was never that you needed to try a little harder. It was a gap you could not cross from your side. So God did not stand at a distance and wait for you to climb up to him. He came down. In Jesus, God himself stepped into the world, lived the perfect life you and I could never live, and then went to the cross and died the death our sin deserved in our place. And 3 days later, he rose from the dead, proving it was finished and the way home was open. So this is what you are beginning. Not a performance you have to keep up, but a homecoming that has already been paid for. The door is open, the bill is settled. All that is left is for you to walk through it, and that is exactly what the next few minutes are for. Step 1 is not something you do, it is something you trust. The first move toward God is not cleaning yourself up, joining anything, or performing a single religious act. It is believing, putting your trust in what Jesus already did. Believe that Jesus is who he said he is, the Son of God, your rescuer. Believe that his death paid for your sin and his resurrection opened the way home, and that it is enough, not your effort added to it, just it. That is faith. It is not a feeling you have to work up. It is a decision to lean your whole weight on Christ instead of on yourself. And if a quiet voice just said, "But I am not sure I believe enough," hear this, because it frees a lot of people. What saves you is not the strength of your faith, it is the trustworthiness of the one you put it in. A little faith in strong ice will hold you. Great faith in thin ice will not. So you do not need heroic, doubt-free certainty. You need real trust placed in a real Christ. One desperate father in the Gospels prayed the most honest prayer in the Bible. "Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief." That prayer counts. If that is where you are, believing and asking for help with the parts you cannot yet muster, that is more than enough to begin. And there is a second half to that first step, an old word that scares people for no reason: repent. It does not mean grovel or hate yourself or promise to be perfect. It simply means turn. Turn away from running your own life your own way and turn toward God. Picture walking in one direction, stopping and facing the other way. That is repentance. And notice the order, because this is where people get stuck. You do not clean yourself up and then come to God. You come to God exactly as you are and let Him do the cleaning. The Bible could not be plainer about who qualifies. Whosoever, it says. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Whosoever. That word has your name inside it. Step 2 is to tell Him. And this is where people freeze because they think there is a magic formula, some exact set of words that makes it official. There is not. Prayer is not a spell. Prayer is simply talking to God, honestly, the way you would talk to someone who already knows everything about you and loves you anyway, because that is exactly who He is. So you can begin right now, silently or out loud, in your own words. There is nothing wrong with your own words, but if you want somewhere to start, a prayer to begin a relationship with God is as simple as this. You can pray something like, God, I know I have been living for myself, and I have gone my own way. I believe that Jesus is your Son, that He died for me and rose again. Right now, I turn to you. I stop trusting myself, and I trust Him. Take my life. I am yours. Thank you for making the way home. That is it. Hear me clearly on this, because it matters. It is not the words that save you, it is the God you are turning to. You could use completely different words. But if you mean that, if you actually turn and trust, then something real just happened, whether you feel a lightning bolt or feel nothing at all. You did not join a religion, you came home. And God, who has been waiting for you the whole time, just received you as His own. So you have begun. Now comes the natural question, what do I actually do now? A relationship is not a one-time event, it grows. And it grows the same way any relationship does, by spending time together. Here are the first 4 habits, and none of them are complicated. First, talk to Him. Keep praying every day, the same honest way you just did. Not fancy, not formal, just ongoing conversation. Tell Him what is going on. Thank Him. Ask Him for help. This is the heartbeat of the whole thing. Second, listen to Him. And you do that by reading the Bible, which is how God speaks. But do not start at page 1 and try to read the whole thing. Start with the Gospel of John, near the end of the book. It was written for exactly this moment, to show you who Jesus is. Read a little each day, a few verses, a chapter at most, slowly, not to finish it, but to meet Him in it. Third, do not do this alone. God never designed faith to be a solo project. Find other Christians, a Bible-teaching church, a small group, even one believing friend who can walk with you. You need people, and they need you. And fourth, tell someone. Say it out loud to another person. Today, I began following Jesus. Saying it makes it real, and it is the first small act of the new life you just stepped into. Now let me be honest with you about what comes next, because false expectations sink more new beginnings than almost anything else. So here is the truth, plainly. You will not be instantly perfect. The old habits and struggles do not all vanish overnight. Some of them you will be working through for years. That is not a sign it did not take. That is normal. You have been changed at the root, and the fruit takes time to grow. And your feelings will come and go. Some days God will feel close and real, other days you will feel nothing at all. Do not build your assurance on the weather of your emotions. Because here is the anchor. You were not saved by your performance, and you are not kept by your feelings. You were saved by Christ, and you are held by Christ. Growing as a Christian is a walk, not a light switch, a direction, not a moment of arrival. There will be stumbles. Get up, turn back to Him, and keep walking. The turning back is part of the walk. And hold on to this promise. The God who began this good work in you is the one who will finish it. He does not start things He does not intend to complete. You are not carrying this. He is carrying you. So, if you have been waiting until you feel ready, until you understand it all, until you have fixed the things you are ashamed of, hear this. You do not have to wait for any of that. In fact, you cannot get ready first. Getting ready is the very thing he does once you come. Remember the man dying next to Jesus on the cross. He had no time left, no good works to offer, no religion, no chance to clean anything up. All he had was a whisper of faith in his final minutes. Lord, remember me. And Jesus told him, Today you will be with me in paradise. Today. If the door was open to a dying criminal with nothing but a turning heart, it is open to you, right now, exactly where you are. And if the thing holding you back is not doubt but shame, if some voice insists you have done too much, gone too far, that God could forgive other people but never you, then look at who God chose to write a large part of the New Testament. A man named Paul, who before God got hold of him, had hunted down Christians and had them put to death. If grace could reach him, there is no such thing as too far gone. Your sin is not bigger than the cross. It never was. There is no past God cannot cover, and no one he is unwilling to receive. The God who spoke 100 billion galaxies into existence knows your name. He has watched every day of your life, and this whole time he has been waiting for the one thing he will never force, for you to turn around. You can do that today. Not someday. Today. So let's bring it all the way home. Beginning a relationship with God is not complicated. Believe, trust that Jesus is who he said and that what he did is enough. Turn away from your own way toward him. Tell him in your own honest words today, and then walk it out. Talk to him daily, listen to him in the Gospel of John, find other believers and tell someone what happened. That is the whole map. And if you prayed something like that today and you meant it, then understand what just happened. You did not merely improve your life or adopt a new philosophy. You were adopted. The God of the universe is now your Father, and nothing in all creation can undo that. This is not the end of anything. It is the first morning of the best thing that will ever happen to you. You did not join a religion today. You came home. Welcome home. If you began today, do two things before you sleep. Tell one person out loud and open the Gospel of John and read the first chapter. That is your first step tonight. And come back. We are walking through the whole Bible here, one day at a time, and we would be honored to walk it with you. Keep seeking, and you will find.